All right, we're going to start this tour out. And what better place to start than right out my back door? So this looks like a major construction zone right now. I've been working on a tractor, which is basically done. I just need to put a door on it, and I could definitely be using it right now that it's finally quit raining. I'm going to make another one, and then Melissa's put together a little bit of a pallet deck because it was so darn muddy that we could barely get through here. So someday there will be a real deck, but until then, this is what we're stuck with. So right outside the back door, I've got the chicks. There's the adult chicks. Uh-oh. There's a Leo. Chuck Norris is there. I don't know if you can see him in the doghouse. I moved that up here because it was raining so much. I didn't want our little boys on the ground. They've got some straw in there, but I just didn't think it was enough. There's the sapphire gems and the Asian black. There should be another Asian black in there somewhere. Leo! Leo! I'm being ignored. They all get along fine. I'm going to try to get this expanded today. I might be getting a couple more goats later this afternoon. I'm going to take a look at them. Make sure they're not wild childs. Leo! Oh, I think that's Buddy. Gosh, he's getting big. I can barely tell the difference sometimes unless they're right next to each other. Then, down here in the other tractor, I don't know if you can see those guys. Probably not focused very well. But there's the leghorns and 3 guineas and 2 of the blue red-laced Wyandottes. And they are crazy. They have not been handled anything like the other chickens. So they're hanging out, getting introduced to the outdoors again since it finally stopped raining. And I'll go ahead while we're here and show you my fruit trees and kind of my mini orchard that I've got going on. I've got all these were planted just this year, and I'm really hoping that they make it. I got one that's kind of iffy. But first, this is my Jerusalem artichoke experiment. I was watching a video, and they were talking about how hardy these are, and pretty much you just can't kill them, and they're native to this area. And I looked up a picture of them at full bloom and realized I'd seen them before. And I might have talked about this, but so we went and dug some up, just like a whole root of them, and I went ahead and put them in this pot so they don't go completely crazy. And so we'll see if we get some Jerusalem artichokes out of the deal. This is the latest one that we planted. This is the Arkansas black apple tree, and it is known for storing really well. We picked it up at Orchland's. Yeah, it keeps really well, so that's kind of exciting that if we do get a large production out of it, it's going to be able to store pretty well down in the basement there, the root cellar. So that is the latest one that we've planted. Hi, Belby. There's Belle. What are you doing, baby? There's the little Scarlet. Can't believe I don't have a cat escorting us around. There's the boys up there. So I'm going to expand out their cage or their pen, depending on how much room or how many panels I can carry. I'm going to try to expand it out here because they are eating up everything in there and they're getting big. And then if I get 2 more, I definitely want to expand it out. Originally, I intended to keep them down there where you see that box there. But after I saw them and realized just how small they were, I was scared to have them out here. We do have coyotes, and they've been up as close to the house as where these trees are. I've seen them out here and had to fire off a couple of rounds on the 22 to scare them off. So anyway, on with the orchard. That's nice, Scarlet. Doing some peeing right there. All right, so this is Fuji. I think it's one of the first ones we planted. it's not really getting a lot of new growth. So I'm kind of worried. I mean, it hasn't died. So we'll see. I don't know. I wish I'd bought a bigger one, but I didn't know until I saw these what was available. So I just picked this up, kind of an impulse. I've always wanted another apple tree. So we'll see. I mean, if it doesn't make it, I'm not super surprised, but it would sure be nice if it did. And then this is a cherry tree that my brother and I bought. I can't think of the name. It starts with an M. And it's a common one that I guess is very good for cherry pie. So Travis wanted that. He's been wanting one for a while, so we pulled the trigger and bought one. It does have some cherries on it already. So we might get a taste this year. So that'd be pretty awesome. Then this is my pear tree. You guys saw me planting it. It's an Ayers pear tree. And I picked it up. I was all proud because I picked it up at Walmart for $7. And then realized I better get another one. So I do have another pear tree up here. My construction zone here. This thing used to be a shelf, like a pallet shelf. And I rigged it together. I am not a carpenter, like not even close. I just hope the dang thing holds up. But I need to get my door put on right here. I've got it. I just need to throw some hinges on it. And then there's a wire bottom, and I can put the rabbits in there and let them do a little grazing. And then I've got several more pallets. Oh, there's Cinna. And more projects to work on. Melissa got a bunch of them from work. We can use them around the garden, and I don't know. You can never have too many pallets, I think. And so here's the other pear tree. I got it kind of pruned up a little bit. Picked it up at Walmart. I didn't get it for $7, but it's a Bartlett pear. So I'm going to get it planted down there between the Fuji and the cherry tree. And hopefully I'll get that planted today too. Finally not raining. Show you some of my plants up front here. My dad built me this actually for my wedding. And my dad, like I've said in the past, doesn't do anything half-ass. So it is still holding up. It's not going anywhere. But since I've started adding a few plants to it, I've got some hostas. This is an Asiatic lily. I'm pretty sure it got topped off last year. So hopefully it will blossom for me. It looks like it might. Tyler got me that, and I think it's really pretty when it does blossom. It's gorgeous. And then a couple more hostas and a Luna, so you can see. Oh, there goes my neighbor. And this has never done anything. Maybe it'll finally do. It keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, so maybe it'll finally do something. There's Luna and her bone. Another lily that I planted. Pretty sure this is a yellow one. And so hopefully these will be coming up here pretty soon. But this is from Hillsdale Lily Farm up by Tabor. And I planted that last year in memorial of my dog Lily that passed away. That's coming up on exactly a year ago. Go look at these bunnies. Introduce you to everybody first. This is Cora, and this is Tina. Get it? I got them on the first day I was in quarantine. I had already planned to pick them up, and fortunately, the guy wasn't going to be there anyway. I was able to do the deal without any interruption or, having to worry about anything. Cora is an excellent mom. She had the litter that I've got out there to be butchered. And then Tina, turns out, is an excellent mom too. And I'll show you that. And then this is Kim. Kim hasn't had a litter for me yet. I think she may have had a false pregnancy last time she was bred. She's pulling fur again. She should be due, I think, here in the next couple of weeks. Tina was actually bred back to Ed. Cora was pregnant already when I got her, and she had 8. Tina, I will show you. Now, you can't trust my counting, because when Cora had her litter, and you probably can't see that very well. When Cora had her litter, I thought she had 10, and it turns out she did not. Oh, there's the popcorn. There's the popcorn. Can you see that little guy? Yup. They are coming up on a week old, and they're all black. Every one of them. See if I can get a better count. Oh man, no way. Have you ever tried to count hopping little popcorn bunnies? 3, 4. Yeah, see, that's what happens every time I try to count them. So, alright guys, you're fine. Okay. So darn cute. So yeah, you can see we're getting a little fur pulled. And even Cora is pulling a little fur as well. So Tina was a couple days later than what I had originally anticipated that her due date was. And I was starting to think, oh man, another false pregnancy. She was pulling fur and everything. She made a nest, and then they weren't coming, and then came out, and whoa, looks like 10 babies. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So hopefully these two will be having a litter here very soon. That would be awesome. And then we've got 2 bucks. So this here is Pat, and then my other buck, I think you guys have met before. This is Ed. What's up, buddy? Ed's the dirty boy. Doesn't like to eat all of his alfalfa, but he's a good boy. And then this is Krusty, for obvious reasons. She's getting a lot better though. Like, it might not look like it to you guys, but her eyes are looking way better. I treat her every day with a couple of drops of saline solution, and she does really well. She's a trooper about it for sure. But anyway, I did breed her, so she's not due for a little while, I don't think. I'd have to double check the days. Belle, let's go. You can't be nice to the bunnies. We gotta go. Belle has an obsession with the baby bunnies. It's like she's never seen rabbits before. So we'll get her out of here so she doesn't stress out Mama. Doesn't my yard just look amazing? I got everything mowed yesterday. I'm so excited about it. It's the little things, right? Come on, girls. Look at these lazy potatoes. As you can see, we finally got the dog pen extended. I bought 2 more panels, and then I actually had 2 laying up against the old kennel because Cheyenne was jumping on top of that doghouse and over the panels one winter. So we laid up a couple to slow her down. She's an escape artist. Hi, Cheyenne. So there's Monty, and that's Cheyenne, and that little spaz is Dottie. You remember her from the first video. Not actually my dog, but Luna's mom. Yoshi and Ponyo, the naughty huskies. Mostly, oh, that's Yoshi is the naughty. And that was part of what spurred us to get our butts in gear and get this done. So that's everybody in here. What are you doing, Otto? We call him Tater. I don't know why. He's just a taterhead. Hi, Taterhead. He's a good boy. They just got fed. Sometimes they have little tussles, but we've got a good system down for feeding everybody. Trimming some trees yesterday, and then I just couldn't stop. Well, picking up sticks. Somehow my mower didn't hit all of them. And Travis and I have been using these little branches and limbs for our mulch. We get the chipper out and mulch the heck out of this stuff, and it has been working awesome. So it's a win-win. It helps me get this crap cleaned up, and then it's free mulch. So I'm going to work on that some more today too. So this is where we buried little boy Blue, and we planted a couple flowers right here for him, and they're actually doing pretty good. And we planted them over here because this is where we had planted blueberries. But the two that I planted, they are like non-responsive. You see that little nub? And then there's one over here. I'm not going to dig them because I've seen things happen. But I've got this wild grape right here. And it's been here for, as long as I've been here. But we've mowed over it a few times. So I finally got it tied up a little bit. And it's taken hold. And I'm probably going to have to trim it back, or else it's going to take over this whole thing. But I've got one of my rabbits is buried right here. My buck that died. He didn't keep himself very clean. And flies got a hold of him. And just, yeah, it was not pretty. So Ricky is buried right here. And then here's the blueberry that we bought that's already started. And it looks really good. It's already got some blueberries on it. And so hopefully we can keep it alive. I mulched around it a little bit with some of the rabbit bedding. And then here's a very special spot. Like I said, coming up on a year since my dog Lily died. And she had been having problems for about a year. Her back had got messed up. And part of it, I think, was Belle was always really rough with her, even though she was old. And her back got messed up, and then she started to lose feeling of her back legs. And like her legs would just give out, and she would mostly be moving from her front legs. And I took her to the vet, and they gave her some cortisone shots, and they said she was so old that wouldn't really want to do surgery because it might work, it might not work. Then you spend all that money on an older dog. I even took her to like a natural healing place, and they did like they put the little pins in them, and do like the shock, and gave her a massage and everything, and it just didn't really seem to do much. But it was quite an ordeal that last year, because she couldn't control her bladder and couldn't control her bowels, and I brought her inside every night because I didn't want her to get stuck out here somewhere where she couldn't get free. But I'd bring her outside in the mornings when I came outside, and she would kind of hobble along, sometimes drag herself. Other times she would just sit in the front yard, and like if I was back here in the garden, she'd bark till I came and got her, and we kind of like wheelbarrow style carry her back to us. And one morning I got home from work, and she was like clear out by the road, and I went to go get her, and she had started to get an infection. It was starting to get hot out, and she had gotten an infection down around her legs, like she wasn't keeping herself clean. And so I rushed her to the vet, and he said, because I felt terrible. I was like, oh my gosh, like I should have caught this. And he said it would have happened so fast. And I wanted him to clean it up and get her going again. And he said he could do that, but I would be right back in there in a month, and it would just keep happening. He said it's getting to the point where you need to think about her quality of life and your quality of life. And my vet is just awesome. And he had been the vet I'd always gone to, because when I got her as a puppy, she was free. She was born on a sheep farm, like 2 hours from here. She's Border Collie, Great Pyrenees mix. And I went and got her with my mom, and she was sick like all the way home. I had a red Monte Carlo. I love that car. And she just threw up. all the way home. And then when I got her home, I was still living with my mom. I hadn't even got my place yet. And she just never acted like a puppy. Like, she didn't really play, and she just, like, wouldn't really come to you. And she kept crawling away. And my mom goes, uh-uh. She goes, you got a sick dog. You need to get her to the vet. So I took her to the vet, and as soon as we got her into the vet clinic, she pooped blood. And it was like all hands on deck. This dog has parvo. And, of course, I had just got her. She hadn't even been in for shots yet, obviously, and obviously they hadn't given her any. And so they put her on fluids and treated her. And I think they kept her for like 3 days, maybe. I don't know. I just remember it was an expensive bill for a college kid. And so my free dog, no animal's free. Don't ever kid yourself. There's no such thing as a free animal. And so they saved her. So she's always kind of been my survivor dog. And she was so cool. She was like the best dog. Like, I can't even put into words. Like, I had her from my junior year in college up until last year. And she was a sweetheart. She was kind of aloof. I don't know. She was smart because she was border collie. Great Pyrenees are smart. But she was also Great Pyrenees. And so she's like, I hear you. I know what you're saying. But I got to go do this right now. I'll come back to you. You know? But she would listen. I mean, it wasn't like she was completely disobedient. She would just push her limits sometimes. But she was the one that trained all my other dogs. I got Cheyenne to help entertain her because I was like, man, just me and a border collie, I can't entertain you the way you need to be entertained. So I got Cheyenne, and she just followed Lily's lead, and so she was always a good dog when she was around Lily. And then I got Monty, and same thing, they just always followed her lead. So as long as they were following Lily's lead, they were doing all right. When we buried her out here, Tyler bought me this small lilac tree. And then I've got wildflowers planted all around here. A couple of hostas. Just something. Last year, it was so cool. I planted zinnias, and this whole thing was covered in zinnias. And if these wildflower seeds don't take off, I'll probably do that again. Hi, baby. So that's Lily. I miss her dearly. I got Luna as a puppy. What are you doing, Belle? I got Luna as a puppy knowing I was going to need another, like, farm dog. Like, those guys stay in there at night, and so they can't really scare off the coyotes, like, in action. And Luna was with me when I took Lily into the vet, and she just laid there. Like, I don't know who she was, because, I mean, she was all rambunctious puppy, but she knew something was wrong, I guess, and she just laid by my side. And I was in the waiting room, like, trying to keep it together, knowing I was going to have to put her down. I was waiting for my mom and my brother to get there. And she just, boom, right there by my side. And it was so cool. Like, people were walking by, and, wow, that's a really good dog you got there. It's like, I don't know who she is. She's not always like that. Yeah, like, she was right there when we put Lily down, and, like, she did so good. So she's not my replacement, but she's my new farm dog. She does a really good job. I don't know if anybody picked up on the name connections there, but I named Lily after Lily Potter, because when I got Lily, I was just reading the Harry Potter books, and Lily had like a lightning bolt on her head, and I guess that was her first name, was Lightning, according to, like, the 5-year-old that was there when I got her. And so when I got Luna, I was like, oh, I want another, like, L name, like Harry Potter reference or something, and we came up with Luna. So it's pretty cool. Now that I got these dogs back over here, they were trying to take off on me again. So yeah, like I said, there's Lily's spot. That's what I always call it, Lily's spot. And here's the north side of the garden. We'll get in there, but I wanted to show you this first. My horseradish patch. that I have not harvested. I got some from a friend when I worked at Pella, and then my dad had found some out on a trail, so he brought some more over. So I'll tell him right now, Dad, when you come down here and help me harvest it, we can get this harvested. That'd be awesome. So over here, I started working on this darn junk pile. Need a tractor or something. But I started another compost pile over here last night with some old straw, and with all those pallets that we got, I can use up these old ones without any issue. And so I'll have a compost pile here and then the one over there. I moved my bunnies. I don't know if I had videoed that or not, but I had them in here and I ended up losing one. I don't know if it got out or it was helped out by Belle, but I found Belle with one of the bunnies. She was actually trying to play with it, and bunnies can't hold up to that sort of abuse. So here's the bunnies. These are going to be the butcher bunnies. There are now 7. There's the kitty butt. We went over all this in our live video. Yeah, that's terrible light. So that's the chocolate chip something that we had bought in memory and planted for Baby Boy Blue. And then that's the lemon basil from Dawn. It's awesome. A couple more planters I need to get planted. I got to be able to dig up more of my free dirt. Man, that basil's got flavor. Woo! Comfrey. Got that going. All right, now for the garden. My compost is really looking good now that we got all that rain. And look at these strawberries. How freaking awesome do those strawberries look? Look at that. Yep. That. Look at that. It is just full. Then we've got the mint. Let's see. I'll have to sample it to remember which is which. That's the spearmint. Man, super flavorful. And then this must be the peppermint. Just do some grazing. A couple of onions that were left over from last year. And so we just threw them in the ground. See what they do. Can't hurt, right? I've got a few radishes still left. Need to get those harvested very soon. I think next year I'll do a better job of doing some succession planting and not plant everything all at once, because as many radishes as I planted, I definitely can't eat that many at once. I'm not even giving them all away. I do have more I'm going to give away for sure, but I still have some in the fridge too. My peas, they're looking pretty good. Clinging on there. No blossoms yet. Hopefully soon. Looks like might be getting ready. Well, hi, Amelia. I'll walk right through the plants, don't you? Move your butt. And some lettuce. I need to get out here and eat a little bit. Thank you. It's real sweet of you. Walking right through. I thought it looked like I had planted 2 rows. Just kind of hard to see. It was some old seed, so it might not have done that great. There's some more lettuce there as well. Just don't see a ton of it. And then my beets. Do you mind? Put a few seeds down here at the end. I'm supposed to get my salad spinner in the mail today. My other one did not make it. That will certainly make things easier for harvesting. You guys have to see this. This is crazy. So hopefully you can see this. Look at this thing. This is asparagus. And it's so funny, this asparagus plant. Because I planted this like at least 3 years ago, okay? In this corner, obviously. And every now and then, there'll be a tiny little shoot come up. Like, you can just see it among the weeds. And yesterday, I was over here just weeding, going to town, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? Because, for one, I had never seen one get this big. And two, I hadn't seen this thing in like 2 years, it seemed like. So I wasn't even expecting the stupid thing to be here. I planted some this year, but I think I waited too long. They're pretty dry when I got them in the ground. So maybe next year they'll pop up. I don't know. But this crazy thing, and I know this is the one I planted a long time ago because it's purple, and that's what I had planted, like literally like 4 or 5 years ago. Is when we very first started the garden. So I don't know, mystery of asparagus, I guess. But yeah, it almost scared me. Like I thought it was like a snake or something because it was so darn big. All this stuff is really, really taken off. It's looking good with all that rain that we got. Got some red cabbage and a cat and a dog fighting. So there's 3 red cabbage plants that survived, but obviously none of them as healthy as this one. And then some kale that I got from a friend of mine. That's this stuff right here. I believe that's like just, I don't know, purple, red kale, whatever. And then my dinosaur kale survived the snow. And let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So one of them must not have made it right there. And more kale. Then the cabbage, it's looking really good. I believe these are some Brussels sprouts that actually survived the snow as well. More broccoli? Yeah, this is more broccoli. Replacement broccoli, because a lot of it didn't make it. Then I got my potatoes. I got 2 different kinds of potatoes here. They're looking pretty good. Except for that guy. He's looking a little droopy. He'll be alright. Maybe I had Jesse put fertilizer on him. Look at this. I don't think he spread that one out so much. So we'll have to spread that out. And Melissa's cilantro looking healthy as ever. And she planted something over here, but we determined that must have just been old seed. Whatever it's supposed to be never came to be. But the cilantro looks good for sure. We can just weed this or plant something else there. Scarlet, are you picking on the kitty? I like this crazy dill. I think we probably could have thinned it out a little bit. But yeah, we got dill. If y'all need dill, just let us know. And then the basil is looking really good too. And then again, there was supposed to be something over here. But as you can see, nothing that resembles anything. I think it was supposed to be lemongrass. Kitty kitty. Kitty kitty. Isn't Amelia pretty? She is like the prettiest cat. Her tail is just awesome. She's a pretty girl, and she's sassy. She does not like love. Then I got a few flowers planted over here. I'm not much of a flower person, but I wanted to make this area pretty. Our chill out area. So I believe these are pansies. Like I said, I don't know flowers. Some marigolds over there. Whatever the heck these are. They're pretty. And then these are the roses that I bought from Melissa. I got one more in the greenhouse that we need to plant. Look at that. It's coming. This one I almost killed. I don't know what the heck I did to it, but it did not do as well as the other one. What the heck was this thing? Dianthesis or something? I don't know. It was, would you please? It was a Walmart clearance, and I'll usually go for flowers if they're perennials at least. And this one was. So I was like, alright, I'll make up for these things that are gonna die. This thing, clematis? You guys know. And a friend of mine just sent me a picture of hers, and it's way bigger, and it's got flowers, and I was like, what is that? She said it's the same thing as this, and I'm like, yes, like, I'm so excited for this thing to take off. Obviously, it'll be a while, but it's so freaking cool. I added some solar lights out here, and it is just awesome. I love it. And then the Buddha's out here. This lights up and this lights up. Melissa's chilling gnome. Check out the corner of death, as my brother calls them. Seems like everything I plant in this corner dies. Maybe because I don't take enough care of it. This is one of the grapes that we planted. Yeah, light here. So it's actually taken off. It's survived at least a year or two. And some daylilies that I planted last year. And then, holy crap, look at this. That is a grape. A grape that I planted. It's alive! Yeah, this is why I don't pull things up when I think they're dead. Because you just never really know. Like, I mean, you will know eventually. But, yeah, I thought this thing was dead. And now look at it. Those are grape leaves. And I still got a tag on this guy. Pinot Grigio. And then some more lilies among these weeds. You can tell I haven't weeded over here, can't you? I promise I've weeded other stuff. So that's another lily that I planted last year. Like I said, I went a little crazy with the lilies. There's two more lilies here that hopefully will be taken off. I don't know if they're getting enough sun. But yeah, planted them in one of the corners of death. This thing's going crazy. I don't know if this is a raspberry or a blackberry. Corner of death, I think I planted both, so it could be either one. But it's taken off. It's another thing that I thought was dead, and then next thing you know, it's just going crazy. A very crooked row of tomatoes. We had to do this by hand because, like I said, the tilling didn't really matter because everything was so packed down with the snow and the rain. So what we've got here, a patty pan squash that's still adjusting to the transplant. Squash doesn't always do super well transplanted, but it was patty pan and I wanted to try it. And what I'm guessing is zucchini. It's doing really well. This is one that I started from seed. And then we got some tomatoes. Can't even tell. Oh, Independence Day. So this will be an early one. This is one that my brother picked up. It's another one that he picked up. Tidy Treats. So I'm guessing that's a cherry tomato. These are some that we just picked up here locally. And there's another one looking pretty healthy. Caspian Pink. And they're looking good. And this must have been one that, yeah, this is one I grew. So it's hard telling what it is. Like I said, this year I didn't think I was going to do the garden. And then crap hit the fan. And I just started throwing stuff into planters. And yeah, it just kind of got away from me. But it's still going to grow. It's going to look great. These two, these are kind of funny. These are ones that were on clearance at, oh, that's nice. There's a cat vomiting. Really, sissy? These, my brother found when we were at the Hy-Vee greenhouse. It's a Rapunzel. It was on clearance for 50 cents. There were two of them. And he's like, what do you think? Like, they already have tomatoes, which I should just pull off, but I can't bring myself to do it. I was like, freaking buy them. They're tomatoes. Like, they'll bounce right back. And they look pretty good, actually. They were looking pretty sad, but they still had some life in them. So we went ahead and picked them up for 50 cents. These are the first ones that we planted. These are some that I got. So this is Cherokee Purple, which needs pruned just a little bit. There we go. And again, probably one I grew because I don't see a tag on it. And this darn weeds. Oh, that's got blooms on it already. Get rid of those for now. And yeah, these are probably some more that I grew from the looks of it. Not seeing any more tags, but everybody looks pretty good. Nice and healthy. Just need a little pruning. Holy cow. I think I need to dump my wheelbarrow. That's gross. And look at this. I am so excited. Look at that. That's a carrot. I have carrots. Hopefully they'll make it. But I really didn't know if any of my sprouts survived. I used a different kind of method that Jess talked about in Roots and Refuge because carrots are so dang hard. But I need to weed these guys so that they don't get overtaken. But I have carrots. We'll see. I am not always the most optimistic, but I'm excited I got this far. Maybe next year I'll get even farther. Swiss chard. Some Chinese cabbage. Looking pretty darn good. Lettuce that was given to me from a friend. Looking super good. Might have to harvest that when I get my salad spinner. Travis's beans are finally up. They're looking good. I did a little weeding on them the other day when we had a break in the rain. Need to do some more weeding down here. But beans are up. And of course, already something trying to eat them. So I might need to dust them, but it's going to probably rain tomorrow. So here's my volunteer lettuce. Sucker's looking bigger than the ones I planted. Heck yeah. I think there's some more in and amongst his beans. I told him don't worry about it. I was just excited about this one. And I'll show you what I got left in the darn greenhouse. Nothing in the raised bed yet. Cats are being crazy. Just saw them sprint through here. I forgot to show you these at the entrance. I planted a couple of roses. They're climbing roses. And guess what? They're on clearance at Walmart. Here's the other one. Ooh, not looking nearly as good. Ah! Well, there's still some green there. It'll pull through. I don't know anything about roses, but I thought how cool would it be to have some roses right here at the entrance. Hi, Luna. All right, greenhouse. Hopefully emptied today. I pulled these guys out to have them overnight. That's why it quit raining, because I pulled these out to get watered with the rain. And then, of course, it didn't rain. A lot of melons there. A lot of tomatoes. Oh, my gosh. I need planted so bad. And, ooh, wasp. Squash. Some crookneck squash. There. Cantaloupe. Yeah, a little everything. Okra. Needs put in the ground. That's something new I'm trying this year. I've never done okra before. So I'm kind of excited about that. Raspberry that I picked up. It wasn't on clearance, but I definitely want a raspberry. Oh, look at this guy. What's up, buddy? Oh. Bye, buddy. Twice now I've been here watering stuff. And it'll kind of be up above my head like this, and I'm watering it, and something will freaking jump out at me. Lots of tomatoes, shishito pepper. My brother picked up some peppers. Look at this guy. Remember when he was almost dead? Heck yeah. Revived here on Sycamore Ridge. Never give up. Jalapenos. This is one I started, so I couldn't tell you what it is. What do we got here? I think is this another one that bounced back? Kind of looks like it. This might have been one. I don't know. Dawn, did you give me this one? I don't know. It's my blueberry experiment. We had part of the blueberry fall off. So I read you could just throw it in the ground. And then my tomatillo over there. Ooh, and a wasp nest. That would explain the wasp. That's got to go. No thank you. And then, of course, all the watermelon. So that's what we've got going on in the garden and the farm right now. It is May 29th. It's a Friday. When I started this channel, one of the big reasons I did it was for myself, so I could keep track of everything that I had going on. I really wish I'd had more pictures and more videos of what this place looked like when I first got it. So it's one of my big regrets, and I don't want it to happen again. So what better place than right on YouTube where I can go back and reference it anytime. What inspired me to do this was a few things. I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels lately to try to learn more. And I thought it was so cool that they could go. I go back to their old videos and see how much changed. Is really neat. And then I found some of my old YouTube videos. I had to set up a channel for a class. I had to make a music video, and then I've had to record myself doing some things. And then I got to where I was making these videos of my dogs. And I found them, and it was a lot of videos of Lily. And it was just like, made my heart warm seeing it. So I was like, I got to start doing this with the farm. It'll be so cool to look back on. So that's why I'm going to try to do these farm tours every now and then. Man, these wasps, they have got to go. That's another priority project for today, apparently. Oh, I forgot to show you my other rose that I picked up. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It needs to get in the ground. Parade GG. So, anyway, I'm going to go so I can get some work done. But thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. I mean, I'm not making any money on this by any means, but it would be cool to someday, not gonna lie. But definitely let me know if you're appreciating these videos by liking and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you next time. So, thanks, Luna. This spot, like I said, we're coming up on a year since my girl Lily. There it is. No!